Boom, boom, the whole market went silent. People dropped what they were buying and turned to look. Right there in the middle of the crowd, a young woman in a bright blue dress was shouting, kicking and slapping a man lying on the ground. "Don't you dare touch me, you filthy beggar," she screamed. Everyone gasped because that man she was beating was her own husband, once a rich billionaire who gave her everything. But she never knew that the poor-looking man she now called dirty was the same man who had only pretended to lose everything just to test her heart. And that single slap, that single kick was the end of her golden life forever. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful young lady named Kate. She came from a poor home. Her family could hardly afford food, and she dreamed that one day a rich man would marry her and take her out of poverty. One sunny afternoon, her dream came true. A kind and wealthy man named Mr. James saw her selling fruits by the roadside. He liked her calm spirit and decided to help her. He started visiting her often, buying fruits he didn't even need, just to see her smile. Soon, love grew between them, and after a few months, James married Kate in a big wedding that filled the whole town with joy. After marriage, James made Kate the manager in his company. She now handled big money, rode in expensive cars, and wore shiny clothes. They lived in a big mansion with servants and guards all around. James loved his wife so much and trusted her with everything. But things began to change when Kate's mother started visiting often. She whispered bad things into her daughter's ears. "My daughter," she said one night, "you are the one running that company. Why should your husband control all the money? Keep some for yourself. Men can't be trusted." Kate listened. At first, she was scared, but slowly she started changing. She began keeping money in her secret account, lying to her husband and spending carelessly. James noticed everything but said nothing. He loved his wife and hoped she would change. But Kate only got worse. She stopped respecting him, started shouting at him before the servants, and even insulted him in public. Her heart had become proud and cold. The more money she touched, the more wicked she became. Her husband's gentle nature made her feel he was weak. She no longer called him my love. Now she called him that useless man. James watched quietly, his heart breaking, but he already had a plan that would teach Kate the biggest lesson of her life. One morning, Mr. James came home looking very sad. He sat quietly at the dining table and said to Kate, "My dear wife, something terrible has happened. I just lost everything. The company, the mansion, even the cars, they are all gone. A man I owe money to has taken everything from me. From now on, we will have to live a simple life. We will pay rent and live like ordinary people." Kate froze. Her spoon fell from her hand. "What did you just say?" She shouted. "You mean we are poor now?" "James, are you mad?" James kept calm and said softly, "It's only for a short time. We will rise again, but we must manage together as husband and wife." Kate laughed bitterly. "Manage? With you? Never. I didn't marry you to suffer." From that day, Kate changed completely. She refused to cook. She refused to clean. She began sleeping out late and hanging around with strange rich friends. Whenever James tried to talk to her, she would yell, "Don't talk to me, you dirty man." James stopped wearing fancy clothes. He wore simple shirts and trousers. He looked like a poor man. People in the neighborhood pitied him, but he said nothing. He was just waiting for the right day to show his wife her real face. One afternoon, Kate went to the market in her tight blue dress to buy things with her friends. She laughed loudly, showing off her beauty. Everyone admired her. Suddenly, she saw a man walking towards her. His clothes were dirty, his face tired. It was James. "Kate," he said quietly, "my wife, good afternoon." Kate turned around in anger. "Who is your wife? Are you mad? Don't call me that. Look at yourself, dirty and poor. Don't touch me with your filthy hands." The whole market turned to look. James tried to calm her, but before he could speak again, Kate slapped him hard across the face. Get away from me, you filthy rat, she screamed, kicking him to the ground. People gasped, some covered their mouths in shock. Some tried to stop her, but she pushed them away. Don't you see this beggar? She shouted. He's pretending to know me. I don't know this man. James stayed silent on the ground, tears in his eyes. The market went quiet. Only Kate's heavy breathing could be heard. She turned and walked away proudly, her friends following behind, laughing at the poor man. But deep in James' heart, he smiled quietly. He had seen enough. The test was over, and the real story was about to begin. That evening, Kate returned home, still angry, her heart full of pride. But as soon as she reached the gate, she froze. Her bags were outside. All her designer's clothes, shoes, and handbags scattered on the floor. Standing beside them was James, but this time he was not in dirty clothes. He was well dressed in a fine black suit, gold wristwatch shining, and a car key in his hand. Kate's mouth opened wide in shock. James, she whispered, what happened? You said we lost everything. James looked at her calmly. Yes, I said that, but it was all a test. I wanted to know the kind of woman I married. You failed, Kate. You turned against me when I needed you the most. You insulted me before strangers, and today you beat your own husband in the market. Kate fell to her knees crying. James, please forgive me. It was the devil. It was my mother. Please, my husband, I am sorry. James shook his head slowly. Your sorry came too late. I have frozen your accounts and you are no longer the manager of my company. Please take your things and leave my house. I can't live with a wife who only loved my money and not my heart. He turned and walked inside, leaving her crying on the floor. Neighbors watched quietly as Kate packed her bags, tears running down her face. Her mother, who had pushed her into greed, came later, but even she could not help her daughter. A few months later, James married a humble and respectful woman named Linda. She loved him for who he was, not for what he had. Together, they lived peacefully, prayed daily, and built a happy home, filled with love, not pride. Kate, on the other hand, learned her lesson the hard way, that pride destroys faster than poverty. Moral lessons. 1. Be humble and respectful no matter how life changes. 2. Never let pride or bad advice destroy your marriage. 3. A good heart is worth more than riches and beauty. 4. Love your partner for who they are, not for what they have. Dear viewers, thank you so much for watching this emotional story to the end. Please, if you learned something from Kate and James' story, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Your support keeps me going. Stay tuned for more powerful life-changing stories that will touch your heart and teach you deep lessons about love, pride and forgiveness. Please subscribe, turn on the bell and stick with this channel. More shocking and emotional stories are coming soon.